Hello and welcome to So You Think You're Awake, the show about life transformation through dream interpretation. I'm Michael Sheridan. End of world dreams. Have you ever had one? They're not pleasant to experience, but what do they mean? Stay tuned to find out as I cover two on today's show. The secret to the meaning of life, your life, is hidden in the strangest of places. It is right before your eyes, so close you trip over it and most likely curse it. The obstacles you think are blocking you from living your life to its fullest are your quest. It is that simple. On this show, through analysing your dreams, I reveal your potential and these obstacles, the ones you need to overcome. I'm very specific. I tell you the magic power you have and what makes you magnificent, and the bumps in life that are holding you back. They are not in the way, they are the way. To get in on the action, go to dream-analysis.com, fill in the form and submit your dream to the show. That's it. That's all you have to do. For some, I will ask if you want to come on air to have your dream analysed in real time. You get a bonus private session with me if you do. If you're interested in that, the steps are the same. Go to dream-analysis.com, fill in the form and submit your dream to the show. I can't do every dream I get, but if you send your dream to the show, I will send you my dream symbol dictionary so you can try interpreting your own dreams. I'll repeat this link at the end of the show. Now, what about end of world dreams? Before I cover them, I want to talk a little bit about the changes that are coming as we move from male energy ages into a female energy age. We are living in a time of major change. Right now, it is easy to go through life and focus on material things, to be selfish, to not care about the planet or how your actions impact others, to be power hungry, to be money hungry. That is changing. We have just gone through 12,000 years of predominantly male energy. That has now ended and we are moving, or I should say, have already moved into the first female energy age in a very long time. However, the last female energy age was so long ago that it is not recorded in Western history. So, from a human perspective, most don't know what is coming. When balanced, male energy is creative, healing, supportive, courageous, and responsible. Unbalanced, it is selfish, insecure, controlling, and aggressive. It wants power. What we see now is the legacy from this long male energy age. We see many corporations and governments that exhibit the unbalanced form of male energy, where selfishness prevails. In the USA, CEOs make millions while their workers are on food stamps. If a worker dies 2 weeks before retirement, a company doesn't have to pay a dime of their pension to their partner or kids. In 2019, women are not guaranteed equal rights under the Constitution. Their rights ebb and flow at the whims of Congress. Your level of comfort or discomfort with this is reflective of your own balance. Either way, I have news. The male energy that supported this way of being is gone. If male energy is all about me, female energy is about everyone. Female energy is caring, compassionate, nurturing and loving when balanced. The institutions that ran on male energy cannot survive in the new female age. They must change or they will fail. The Me Too movement is just one evidence of this. The first end-of-world dream I cover comes from Jennifer. It is a prophecy of major change. It is not the end of the world. It is merely the end of the world as we know it. Ha! I think somebody should make that into a song. Everyone that has an end-of-world dream has a part to play in making the transition happen. Jennifer's part is to help manifest it by being very aware of its coming. Our thoughts create our reality, but most of us are living on automatic. We want to be wealthy, but our fear of being poor far outweighs our desire to be wealthy. It is the emotional charge that we attach to our thoughts that decides the reality we manifest. The universe does not differentiate between something you hate or something you love. It merely provides what you give most weight to through your thoughts and emotions. And you can create any reality you want because you are free to change your thoughts and emotions around those thoughts. Jennifer's prophetic gift is mostly relegated to her dreams, where she gets visions of the future. But because many of her visions have happened, she adds the emotional currency required for purchase to the other parts of her vision, the end of the world as we know it part. Through her gift, she is helping to raise the vibration of the planet. Each person's part is a little different. Some are light workers here to help with the transition into the new energy age. They are aware of the energy bursts that we will see in Jennifer's dream. Some can feel them as they happen. Some are told about them by their guides. This energy has been flowing over the earth for a few years, raising people who are attuned like an incoming tide. It is activating them, switching them on to their higher purpose, the same purpose shown in their dreams. Send me your dreams and I will tell you your purpose. dream-analysis.com. Now let's have a look at our first dream from Jennifer. She starts, "One beautiful sunny day, I decided to take my girls, who were 3 and 5 years old, downtown to Seattle's waterfront to enjoy a public festival. There was a brand new giant Ferris wheel and the girls were excited to try it. Note, I had this dream in 2001 and Seattle did not install the Great Wheel until 2012. So straight away from Jennifer's comments, we know that she has a prophetic ability. She already knows this, but she dreamed about something that didn't exist in 2001. So 11 years later, it gets installed in the location where she dreamed about it. We got on the Ferris wheel and started going up, 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 slowly rotating around the giant wheel. At one point, the wheel stopped with us at the very top, swaying us back and forth. We had no idea why it stopped, but we had the best view out across the water, so we simply enjoyed it. We felt no anxiety." Well, there's two things here. First of all, she talks about having this magnificent view from a height. That in itself is a way of indicating someone who has a prophetic ability. It's almost like they have an eagle's eye view of things. They can see things from such a high vantage point that they can see what's coming in the future. Another thing that's interesting is she says we felt no anxiety. And this is kind of funny. Once you mention an emotion, then we know in reality it exists. So this anxiety goes with her prophetic ability. Even though she says she has none, we know that because it got mentioned, because there's lots of things she could have said that she had no feeling about in the dream, we know because it got mentioned, it goes hand in hand with the gift. As I stared out across the water, I saw the strangest thing. Far out on the horizon, I could see a thin spout of water slowly reaching up to the sky. At the same time, energy from the sky mirrored the water and reached down to touch the water spout. Slowly, slowly stretching with a huge force, the water and the sky touched. As soon as the water and sky met in a single spout, they broke apart with an energetic snap and receded back to normal. And she has normal in quotes. The sky and water were calm as if nothing happened. It was like watching slow motion video of a water drop falling into a puddle where the force creates an upward point and then a wave of energy dissipates around it in concentric circles. Well, she can definitely paint a picture. So this is about the energy reaching up to the heavens, or the earth reaching up to the heavens, because we see the water reaching up to the heavens. So we know it's about raising the vibration of the planet. And she also says that energy comes down, that the sky reaches down and they meet. And this is what is happening. These waves of energy are rippling across the planet, which is exactly what she says, that when they come together and touch and snap, these ripples move out along the water. And it's a very good description. She says, a few seconds later, this phenomenon happened again. Only this time it was about 50 feet closer to the shore and us. Snap. My daughters and I kept watching this energy from the sky come closer and closer. Each time it drew down and joined the water, it was going to hit Seattle right at the waterfront. Now we felt anxiety growing. And like I said, once we see the feeling in the dream, we know it goes with the gift. So the anxiety is there with the gift. So what else have we got? Well, there are many parts to this dream. From Jennifer's perspective, it is about tying off all her karma and being finished with the earth plane. And she is guaranteed that this is her last necessary earth life. And I'll explain how she has done that in a moment. But the 50 feet closer, it's like of all the distances for her to pick, she says it comes 50 feet closer. 55 is about karma. And so he's saying, we know that her witnessing this is part of her karmic path. Let's continue on a bit more of her dream. She said, I decided we were going to get off the Ferris wheel. And this is why I said this is the end of her karma. Getting off the Ferris wheels are a great symbol for indicating karma. They're a journey that just goes around in circles. You end up back where you started from. And that's what the karmic cycle, that is exactly the perfect symbol for the karmic cycle. And so saying that she wants to get off the great wheel, the great Ferris wheel, as it's called in Seattle, she is saying that this is going to be the end of her karma. So this ties it all off for her, what she's doing in this lifetime. She says, as the wheel rotated us down, we could still see the energy spikes coming. Most people weren't looking up and didn't notice what was approaching. Of course, people who aren't attuned to the heavens or aren't working in the spiritual field are not likely to be aware of what's approaching. It's not part of their lives. I mean, it becomes it, but the awareness of it isn't part of their lives. They had no idea. Pretty soon the energy spikes were close enough that each snap was sending out energy power blasts like a nuclear bomb. When the first blast hit the city, I heard a loud cracking sound like breaking glass, and people started screaming. So I cut out a lot here of what her description, because it's very graphic, and it would even be traumatic reading it out. She continues, I realized I had to get my daughters away from all the panicking people and encourage them to stay calm and hold my hands. So her daughters are aged 3 and 5, so we know this is important. As with any dream, when it has your kids in it, whatever the ages they are, it's talking about you at that age. As soon as we exited the gondola, we ran into my friend's condo building across the street on First Avenue. The staff all recognized me, and although my friends were out of town, the staff knew we had permission to go up to their penthouse condo and led us into the elevator. The girls were worried, but I stayed calm to keep them calm. We got into the penthouse condo, closed the door, and silenced all the chaos from below. We sat on a big bed and watched through the huge picture window as more energy spikes arrived on shore. I shut the shades so my girls wouldn't see the panic and destruction below. I definitely wanted to spare my kids the pain of human chaos and tragedy, and I did not want them to be in a state of panic. So this really is about her at that age, like I said. So from a very young age, the age of her daughters in the dream, Jennifer has had the gift of prophecy. However, she put blinds over it between the ages of 3 and 5, and this is shown in the dream when she covered the window, her gift, so her daughters would not be distraught. Why did she do this? Well, as a young girl, one without an adult who could help her understand her ability, she could not tell the difference between a fear of something bad happening and a prediction of something that would happen. She felt she made things happen because she had thoughts about events before they happened. In the last part of her dream, she says, I spoke to my daughters in a calm, quiet voice and coached them to hold love in their hearts, asking them to imagine filling their hearts with love energy and rest together in a state of peace. I felt a deep faith that all was right, and I didn't explain it to the girls because I knew they wouldn't fully understand. And that's because at that age, she didn't understand. And because of that, like I said before, her prophetic gifts get mostly relegated to her dreams. But she still gets visions of the future in her dreams, and because these visions happen, she adds the emotional currency required for purchase to the other parts of her vision. Jennifer's karma is to anchor the coming change onto the earth plane. By doing this, by helping to raise the vibration of the planet with her gift, she is tying off all karmic loose ends. As she puts it, she is getting off the great Ferris wheel. There are many people like Jennifer on the planet. Many are aware of this major change, and they see it in their dreams as the end of the world. With enough people aware of it, the purchase power for this female energy age is amplified. Something that's important to add to this is an old dream, 2001. This is 2019. So if you looked at this dream, you would think that the dreamer still has work to do on healing issues in childhood, because that's what comes up a lot. But when I channel on it, I'm told this dreamer has already done everything they need to do. They don't need to do anything different from what they're already doing. This person, I should say. So Jennifer just needs to keep on doing what she's currently doing. She's cleared the karma that she needed to clear, and everything is good. It's an unusual thing to get, be told, but thumbs up for Jennifer. Let's have a look at the next dream. This one is from Angel. I remember an apocalypse type event that was flooding the rivers and cities and driving everyone south. I had Aya with me, my daughter, named after ayahuasca. Now, I have to stop right there. You named your daughter after a mind-altering substance. And to think, I knew your daughter, I think I met her, but I didn't know why she was named Aya. But maybe you should introduce her to my son. His name is Cocaine. Anyway, we ended up getting on a bus to travel. It felt sudden and I realised I couldn't go back. It took me to a woman's house that was large enough to become a sort of sanctuary for people that had to leave, like me. I wanted to eventually text people the address so they could find me. I tried texting my ex-husband and my dad the house numbers, but it became difficult to figure out which house numbers belonged to whom. Not a good idea, that's bad. Lots of 7s and 1s. I sent the text and walked inside, down into a main lobby. A group of women in black sat in there. Okay, let's see, where have I got notes? Eventually my ex showed up. He had to drive through the streets that were flooded pretty high. The woman that owned the large house started charging my ex rent right away. She seemed like his yoga instructor that is controlling and not very good at practicing what she preaches. And she seemed like a real estate agent. I didn't like her doing this to him. Felt like she was taking advantage of him because she never charged me anything. Okay, so what have we got here? South is about moving into the heart and away from the head. And that's what this dream is about. That's the goal of the dream. Telling you to avoid an apocalypse or a threat to your life by moving out of your comfortable headspace. But you don't want to let go of your male aspect, shown in the dream by your ex-husband and your dad, 2 males. 2 males is always a pun on being too male. And you want to take them on your journey into your heart. Well, the spoiler alert is you can't get into your heart by doing that, by taking them with you. The woman charging your ex-husband rent shows that there is a price to be paid for that. You can see the hypocrisy of the woman. This is a dig at mom and links your negative traits in this area to her. And the women dressed in black in the dream, just by their presence, show that the issues you have to deal with are with mom. Also, when it comes to these men, you can clearly see how their male traits hold them back. At least that's what you've described to me. That's the clue as to why you need to drop yours. Negative male energy plays it safe and controls due to insecurity. But you are okay with these men, obviously, because you invite them to your new location, which means you are blocking your move into your heart by not letting go of your male approach. So going back to your dream, you say, I had arranged, and this seems to take a turn, I arranged to maybe have sex with a rich guy in the sanctuary for $700, but my ex being there made it more difficult. And what else have we got? Because I've skipped some pieces. I think I travelled to a beach with Victor, my first boyfriend, at night and fell into the sand next to Emma Woodruff. She's a musician that has anxiety and is self-conscious. Also, in the refrigerator of the house we escaped to, there was a scary type male energy that told people their future and how they would die. It was meant to drive them into madness. I managed to avoid getting sucked into this, but my older daughter may have held the door open too long and saw hers. For some reason, knowing that much about yourself would take over your mind and drive you obsessive and mad. Okay, so this dream says then that sexual liberation is one of your life goals. Getting paid $700 for sex tells us that. But so too does the appearance of your ex-boyfriend on the beach. And you can only say negative things about him when I asked you for comments. But your philosophy in this area is governed by his influence, and anxieties in this area impact your confidence in channeling. And we know that because there's a musician at that point in the dream too. So it's we know that the sexual liberation is key because you mention that it's $700 that you're going to get paid, and 7 is only a positive number. There's nothing negative about it ever. And zeros are about goals. So this is a spiritual goal for you. You need to cut the ties with mom. That's where the say one thing but do another comes from, the hypocrisy. You want to clear your ability to feel okay with that. At the same time, you could clear up the confused energy around your sex life. I'm sorry to be personal, but it's in your dream. That energy is being absorbed by your oldest daughter and determining her future. And lastly, Angel, you are a light worker. Your gift is channeling. You already know this, but you must clear the female energy blocks I outlined in order to be lifted by the incoming female energy that we've been describing earlier on the show. You must become heart-centered. So another apocalyptic dream, end of world dream, but here it's not as strong. It's not really about the dreamer witnessing the end of the world. It's about her world needing to change in order to avoid the start to life that she had. And we know it's the start to life because she goes into a main lobby and straight away there's a woman in black there. So we know right at the start, fears from mom have caused a lot of the things. So 2 different dreams about end of the world with slightly different twists, but a lot of similarities at the same time. We see prophecy in both, which is quite interesting. Let's have a look at some short dreams to finish off with. The first one comes from Adrienne. It's really short. She says the title is Detective in a Nightgown. I'm a detective in a light pink nightgown. I'm investigating/searching for the red candy. When I look down, I see that there is a big red sticky stain on the lace on the upper chest of my gown. And she says in brackets, it's white lace embroidered on the pink fabric. Well, Adrienne called in last week, and we know from that she has issues with her mom. Her mom's in a home, and Adrienne feels trapped into caring for her. And I'm saying it in a kind of callous way. It's not a callous thing. But the trapped is an emotional trapping. She can't, even when she's not around her mom, she's still worried about her, and is she being looked after, and so on. So this dream, we know that you have issues with your mom because of the pink. That says that you didn't get a good bond with her. She didn't give you the love that you felt you needed. And it's nothing to do with what she could give. It's all about what you needed as a child. The nightgown says that this is something you're in the dark about because we use, because your emphasis on night there. And then, so basically the red candy is about joy and fun. That's what red really stands for, base chakra stuff, fun, joy, passion, animal passion, really. And so when we see this, we know that your connection to mom prevents you from bringing joy into your life. And we saw that last week, but here it's said in a nutshell. Because of the stain, we can say, and it's a red stain, you feel guilty if you have fun. Along the lines of, how can I possibly have fun because mom's miserable? And of course, that's not what it's about. You should still be able to have fun, regardless of what state your mom is in. The other thing then that we know from the detective element, because you're a detective, it means that you're a counselor and you look at life from the outside. And this is because of the poor bond with mom. That tells us that you see the distinctiveness and individuality of everybody. And people aren't aware about that because you're a bit of a chameleon. You can really act like you're one of the crowd and nobody notices the difference. Whereas you're acting, you know that you're just playing a part and you don't really feel the same way that everybody else does. And people will seek you out. They look for advice and guidance and they'll be very open and honest with you because it's in your aura. It's just like a light around you that says, hey, I'm a counselor, I can help. And I say it many times, it's not the qualification that makes a counsellor, although legally you need that in many places. It's the training they get because of the poor bond at the start of life. They're on the earth plane, but they don't feel welcome. They don't feel loved. And so you are witnessing it and looking at it and saying, what's it about? And you don't really feel part of anything. Except, I should say, when you're counselling, when you're helping your friends or working with clients in a counselling capacity, that's when it clicks. That's when you go, I get my place in the world. I know where I stand in the big picture. But once that's over, you're back to not feeling like you fit in. So, like I said, Adrienne called into the show last week, and for that, she got a private session with me. These sessions are worth money. In them, I spell out the block you have, where it came from, and how to clear it. I also tell you what life will be like after you clear it. So, if you want that, send your dream in to me, and hopefully it's one that would be perfect for having you call into the show. Our next short one comes from Amy. She says, I am in a room and there is a man being brought in on a stretcher and his left leg is blown open. I know I am to help heal him, but I realize it seems as if his leg is mine and I can't move forward. Then the dream moves on and I'm going to use my left hand to do healing work, and I tried to move it and I realized it's made of wood. I believe I have a block on my left side with energy. So left and right in dreams can be about the past and the future. And here the left side of the body is about the past. And we know it's that because we know it's a man on the stretcher. So we know definitely it's about male side. And I say that because sometimes the left side of the body is going to be about female side. But here it's about male side. So it's about a block you picked up in the past, in your case from your stepdad. And so you need to cut the ties with your stepdad in order to heal the open wounds that you have that block you from moving forward. And, you know, just like in the dream, or in reality, if you had a leg that had problems, you wouldn't be able to move forward. And that's really, it's symbolic of that in the dream. Also, you are a healer, and because you realize your hand is made of wood, it's saying that you have some digestive system issues going on at the moment. Nothing big though. But that's it for you. Work on the male side, cut the ties with your stepdad is the secret. Bruce sent in a dream, and he says, in the dream, I'm asking you, yes, you, Michael Sheridan, about a dream in which there is a puzzle within a larger jigsaw type puzzle. This inner puzzle is a small area with precisely placed rectangular shapes. Each must be placed with such precision that there is no room for error. In the dream that I am describing, I complete the inner puzzle and ask you the meaning. You tell me that the dream means that I have the ability to time travel. Well, Bruce, I've met you. You're a giant of a man, and there's no way you'd fit through a portal. You have the ability to see things in the future, or go look at things in your past. So it can be about you looking at what you need to do, like a regression, look at a regression to past lives and so on, or regress or progress to the future and see what's going on there. But you've got that ability. It's a new one on me for you, but interesting enough. Here's a small interesting one. The dreamer had memory fog, which turned out to be caused by parasites in his body, and he had to go on medication to kill the parasites. But he was told that once he did that, it would take maybe a couple of years for his brain to recover, or his memory to recover, I should say. And anyway, he had this dream where he was peeling tape off a large floppy disk so that the head of the disk reader could read it. So this dream has everything in it. The tape, like sticky tape that he was peeling off to make it so the head could read, is like you have or are addressing the issues that laid down problems that made it difficult for you to remember things in your head. And so here you are fixing the issue that causes the head not to pick up the information. So quite a short, powerful little dream, and very encouraging if the dreamer was wondering, is there anything else they need to do? And lastly, Rebecca says, I had the most bizarre dream about a UFO. I've never had a dream like this before. What does it mean? Well, UFO dreams are about your guides, specifically you raising your awareness to make contact with them. Aliens on a UFO are beings that inhabit the heavens. And it usually means you're on a quest to raise your awareness, and it is working. So it's a very good dream. I remember having loads of dreams about aliens, and I was trying to hide from them. They were always on UFOs, way back in the beginning before I really understood this stuff. Really, really fantastic. And then if you really get into it, you can have dreams like where you're on the Starship Enterprise traveling through space, and that, of course, would be great. But this is the early stages of it, where your guides are trying to make contact, and the aliens on the UFO ship are about that contact. So that's it for this week. Thanks for tuning into this show. If you want me to do one of your dreams, go to dream-analysis.com and use the form there to send your dream off. Until next week, I'm Michael Sheridan.